I think I'm more proud this year than ever of the kind of young people we have competing, but also coaching them. And we hold everybody accountable. You know, the student athletes hold us accountable, and we hold them accountable. Leroy Selman's DNA on this department is very clear, and it is the whole person is more important than the athletic success of that person. That's why we have his mentoring program, where 50+ kids are mentored by business community leaders in this town, and we want all our kids to go through that program while they're here. We've seen many of them get jobs because of this program.
When you coach, that's what it's all about, and it's coaching to develop young men and to watch them grow and to watch them become not only outstanding citizens in society, but devoted fathers, and you got a chance to watch them raise their family. You know, I think that what's amazing about this profession and where you just get the greatest satisfaction is when you see a young man that you've coached and then you watch his career, and then, you know, some of them go on to be doctors, some go on to be lawyers, some become professional football players and even coaches. Well, there's some outstanding recruits here, and it's not only this region, but all across the state. And it's all about what you're recruiting and what you're looking for in a recruit. And, you know, I always say, give me a guy who's tough, give me a guy who's dependable, give me a guy who's smart, and you're going to win a lot of football games.
And this is going for a touchdown. Tyree McCann, touchdown USF.
Well, as a parent myself, you know, what I'd be looking for is that I know maybe I'd be turning over, or they're turning over to us, an incredible, you know, athlete. But I'm sure as a parent, what you want is an incredible young man or young woman to leave here, you know, that has experienced great growth, that's had great experiences and has learned a lot. And we spend a lot of time in this department making sure the whole person grows.
You came here on a football scholarship, but your main focus and your main goal is to get a degree. The reason why you need that degree, it gives you options in life, and it gives you a chance to go be successful.
We have professional coaches. They're going to get better in terms of their development as a player in whatever sport. But as a department, they're going to be incredible people when they leave here. And I think that's what every parent wants with their children, always. When you're a student athlete at USF, you're going to get the full broad-based experience. We're going to challenge you to win in those things we discussed, but also have a lot of fun too.
Plans for a new on-campus football center were unveiled in early November. The facility will provide world-class amenities such as an indoor 100-yard turf field, along with all the resources necessary to ensure the future excellence of the program. For South Florida, the fun has only just begun. To all the donors, alumni, and supporters whose generosity makes all of this a reality, we thank you. Who do you aspire to be? Where do you want to go? How do you get there? At the University of South Florida, we do it as a stampede.
And now he finds the open field.
Incoming 18-year-olds forging their path together, becoming men, not overnight, but over time.
Touchdown Bulls!
Under the national spotlight. A bond that resonates from teammates to the student body, to the alums, and throughout the Bay. The Bulls are not a one-time flash. We are here to stay. Because the word is out. Your dreams can come true when you are Bull strong. Bull Strong, Inside USF Football, is presented by USF Health, by Tampa General Hospital, by the Florida Lottery, by AT&T, your world delivered, and by Hooters, get your game on, the original wing joint since 1983.
I always say this is just my personal opinion, but it's an opinion I've learned from being around several, great coaches, especially defensive coaches, I should be able to bring someone who's not a football, aficionado, and they should be able to go out and watch us play, and they should be able to say that we look like we're a well-oiled machine. 11 guys that play as hard and play as aggressive as they possibly can.
I mean, we're in attack mode, you know what I mean? Ever since the first day he came here, we're in attack mode. He wants to get off the ball. He wants to get off blocks. We're blitzing a lot more.
With the defense, you're only as good as your defensive line. So we're out here working hard every day because we know that it's on us to be a great defense.
You can't always promise wins and losses, but one thing you can always promise is the effort and, the will to try to get done with what the defense is asking them to do.
The demand's not what I demand, it's what the game demands. To play D-line really well, you have to play really, really hard. And so you have to strain. You have to compete and fight, and that little extra strain over the course of several reps eventually can overwhelm people.
The biggest thing you want to make sure is that the guys bring energy. That's the most important thing. You want to make sure that they're comfortable with what you're doing and what we're doing as a defensive staff, scheme-wise. And I think once they have that comfort level, now it's to go out there and go play. And that's what, if you have the energy and you have the knowledge and you feel confident in what you're doing, you're going to go out there and go play your best.
The other thing about those two guys, Hector and Sanat, is they're such good people and they're so responsible. They take care of everything off the field.
And just like anything else, as long as they know that you care for them and you have their best interest at heart, I think you're going to get the most out of them.
And that's what Coach Strong's about. Coach Strong's about developing young men to be the best men they can be, and then the same values that make you a good man make you a good football player. Work ethic, character, doing little things right, paying attention to details, all those things that are going to make you successful. And as a family man, as an employee, are the same things that make you a successful football player, and that's how Coach Strong develops those guys.
AT&T is a proud sponsor of USF Athletics. Switch to AT&T Wireless and DirecTV today and stay connected all season long. AT&T, entertainment your way. Its name is simple. Its consequences are too. The war on I-4. The winner advances to the American Conference Championship, an in-state battle between two of the best collegiate football programs in the country. South Florida traveled from Tampa to Orlando to meet Central Florida, two teams finishing the regular season against each other with one loss combined.
You get no better than this, man. You don't get no better than this right here, baby.
UCF and South Florida both have not had a long history in college football, but this natural and budding rivalry, the war on I-4, has everything on the line today.
While the rest of the country was still digesting their Thanksgiving dinners, the Bulls and Golden Knights had an appetite for the end zone, one that would be satisfied many times in an instant classic.
Tyree McCants with space, and there goes Tyree McCants inside the 5 and in. What a touchdown! He can pick him up and put him down as he drags the UCF defender into the end zone. That's just 1-2, and the wide receiver gets South Florida on the board early.
Rivalry weekend in college football started a day early, and the intensity along the line of scrimmage was palpable.
Milton with a little bit of magic for a touchdown.
3 teams from the American Conference entered the weekend ranked in the top 25. 2 of them were meeting right here, with a standing room only crowd roaring on every snap, many wearing green and gold. The Bulls' early lead didn't last despite ferocious hitting.
Good coverage by Devin Abraham. Hilton has a man. It is caught!
Central Florida scored touchdowns on its first 3 possessions and led 21-7 after a quarter. A lesser team would have collapsed with that kind of start in a rivalry game. But the Bulls had plenty going for them. Mental toughness for one thing, and one of the most explosive offenses in the nation for another.
Plenty of time. Has a man loose. McCants again. Down near the 25 of UCF.
It was early, but quarterback Quentin Flowers was on his way to shattering some school records.
To the inside. What a catch. Temi Alaka. Touchdown Bulls. Quentin Flowers dropping dimes in Orlando so far. Nadelman misses the extra point.
No worries. The defense made some adjustments from the first quarter and just plain dug in, while the offense was led by Flowers' 348 passing yards in the first half.
Flowers for McCants again. Down to the 44-yard line in UCF territory. Flowers making some magic happen with his legs into UCF territory.
The Bulls spent much time there in the quarter, forcing 3 straight punts on D, allowing Flowers and his crew every chance to sparkle.
Flowers, end zone, Wilcox, touchdown Bulls!
South Florida was right back in the game. It was only the 3rd time all season that UCF was shut out in a quarter. Most important, USF showed it could take a punch and come back with even more.
And that'll draw us to the end of the first half. Your score, UCF 21, USF 20. Stick around for second half action.
As night fell in Orlando, it seemed impossible, but things grew even more intense. The Bulls were leaving it all on the field. The American Conference East Division title was on the line, and both teams seemed willing to pay whatever price necessary to claim it. Nothing kept either side down for long. Almost like a basketball game, both teams had to survive surges, and the Golden Knights were the first to score in the second half, building their lead to 8 once again.
Touchdown! UCF!
South Florida has been blessed, not just with great talent, but great leadership, in a coaching staff that is firm but willing to bend throughout the course of a game. They had this team ranked in the top 25 for the 17th straight week, and now it was time for the Bulls to make a run of their own. Even on the road, they were determined to make themselves at home.
And Tice the touchdown!
With less than 5 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter, Darius Tice's 6-yard score had the Bulls back within 1.
For the Bulls, that was number 6, Darius Tice.
This was the first time in this series that both teams were ranked, and each was looking to move up in the polls. All of these things surrounded the number 1 goal in a rivalry game, finding a way to win. In a game that featured 13 touchdowns, a defensive play loomed large as Ronnie Hagen's interception gave the Bulls the ball in UCF territory, setting up an historic moment in Quentin Flowers' career.
Has not been shy about using his feet to make it happen. Touchdown Bulls, and South Florida leads. In the biggest game of Quentin Flowers' career, he has showed up, and he is showing out here in Orlando.
Flowers became just the 6th player in FBS history with 40 rushing touchdowns and 60 passing touchdowns. 2 Bulls TDs in 61 seconds, but the lead disappeared again midway through the 4th quarter. 2 heavyweights slugging it out and refusing to go to the canvas, with time, as always, becoming a factor. With a little over 2 minutes to play, the lead was back to 8, but not for long.
Flowers has a man. It is caught. Darnell Sullivan, touchdown Bulls. And now the 2-point conversion to tie this game. A huge play. Here we go. Looking, has a man. Tie game. Dearness Johnson makes it 42-all.
But the euphoria evaporated quickly. On the ensuing kickoff, Mike Hughes broke loose and returned it 95 yards for the go-ahead score. The Bulls had worked so hard to get the game tied, and then that quickly, they were down again. Disappointed? Yes. But they had 2 timeouts and less than a minute and a half to play. It had been a night of fireworks on and off the field, and these Bulls would not go gently. They rolled up their sleeves and went to work, with Dearness Johnson nearly repeating the kick return magic himself. Still, he gave Flowers and company a little more than half the field to work with for the equalizer. A puncher's chance.
Flowers to the sticks for the first down. Where's the football? UCF has it with 39 seconds to go.
The sting of the loss dampens an amazing effort in one of the most entertaining college football games of the season. The Bulls bounce back time and again. Quarterback Quentin Flowers threw for over 500 yards and became USF's all-time total yardage leader. And while that may ring hollow for a few days, they are headed to a bowl game for the 3rd straight year and will have a new challenge to focus on within a week. Bulls Strong Inside USF Football is presented by USF Health, by Tampa General Hospital, by the Florida Lottery, by AT&T, your world delivered, and by Hooters. Get your game on, the original wing joint since 1983.
No, that was a tough one. It's a tough loss. And, you look at that game, and we get down early, and then our guys just battled back, and then we were able to get the lead, and then we had it there right. We end up tying the score, then end up getting a kickoff return known as for a touchdown. But, you look at the performance of Quentin. What a great performance he had here tonight. And just offensively, we were able to just match them score by score. And even at the very beginning, I told our guys, I said, guys, we got to settle down with our emotions. We just got to get settled down. And once we get settled down, then we had to start playing. Had to play what we call our dime package, because we tried to match speed with speed, because early on they was getting us outside and they were outrunning us. And so we had to come back and try to match them. But, I love this team. I told that group of guys I love everything about them, and they gave everything they had tonight.
I just say I was locked in and focused on whatever my coach wanted me to do. That's what executing, using my legs, putting the ball in the air, hitting your targets. I just came out and just stayed locked in, stayed focused on what I supposed to do when I supposed to do it.
We came out and we fought hard. I'm proud of my teammates. We came out there and put it all on the line. Obviously, we're not happy with the consequences, but we came out there and fought hard. So I'm proud of those guys.
I feel like we came out and we left it all on the table. We did everything we could, and we came up short. I feel like, we had some guys who got injured, really important guys to our defense. If we would have had a chance to get back on that foot, I feel like we would have made something happen. But I feel like we gave it everything we had. I feel like we emptied our bucket. I feel like, Quentin had an amazing game. Number 10 had an amazing game, and it was going to be a close game. We knew it was going to come down to the wire. I feel like we gave it everything we had. And if we would have had one more chance to get on the field, we probably would have did some more damage. But, it was a great game.
Tyree McCants with space. And there goes Tyree McCants. Inside the 5 and in. What a touchdown.
Quentin just, unbelievable the way he ran the ball, the way he threw the ball, how he just kept getting us out of bad situations. But you could tell he was going to have a good game. Just this morning when we usually do a walk, he was kind of off to himself, and he had a serious look on his face, and you just knew that tonight was going to be his night.
Amazing, amazing. He does this each and every time. Every time he step out there, no matter who he playing, big lights, everything, he always step out and do amazing things. He's one of the best quarterbacks, the best quarterback that I ever played with. ever in life.
I'll say I just was mentally locked in, mentally focused. That's the game you'll want to see in a quarterback, a guy that's just out there giving his all, a guy that's just doing whatever it takes to keep the chains moving and just put points on the board.
Flowers has not been shy about using his feet to make it happen. Touchdown Bulls, and South Florida leads.
It was back and forth, and you know, there at the end, it really got. It was really good. Just the way both teams battled. You got to give a lot of credit to Central Florida and for them to pull it out. But you know, it was just so many plays and so many opportunities left out on the field for us.
Definitely the best game that I've been a part of. You know, it was a hard-fought game from the very beginning to the very end.
It's a great season. You know, it didn't go how a lot of people wanted it to go about us putting up points. The only thing we cared about was the win. As long as we come away with the win and, you know, let us see another day, another game.
I mean, it's not a disappointment because at the end of the day, you still have to go out there and fight hard. So, I mean, I enjoy playing with my teammates. We enjoy each other. Obviously, we didn't go out the way we wanted to, but it's not a disappointment. It's still some good out of this season.